statistic. Available on headknockers.com or Amazon. You buy it from me, you get a signature of the whole get down. Yo, this your California cousin, Guillermo Eiland. And if you don't know, and if you don't tune in, I'm gonna catch you. Because I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Big Kaz.
So when I left Chosen Few, I actually went back to Kings Among Kings. That's why I messed up the story. I went back to Kings Among Kings for a few takes. And I go up at a Vagos annual for San for Purdue. And Richie said, "Oh, you went back there?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, one day you'll figure it out." I said, "Well, let's figure it out." He said, "We're trying to stand Arizona up. You know, they've been trying to stand Arizona up for a while. They were in Nevada, but they weren't in Arizona." He introduced me to some cats that were already there in Arizona, but they had not officially, brother by the name of Debo, Sin, you know, good guys. And there was some heads, but they had not, you know, because of the silly politics with the other clubs. And I said, I want to be a part of it. I hung around for about 4 months, did my paperwork, maybe a little longer. Did my paperwork. My paperwork came back. Bigfoot was the national at the time. He's no longer in the club. I remember the night we rode to Tucson and I got voted in as a prospect. And then after about 60 days, I was asked, because some other stuff, I was asked to go to Green Machine, which is their other, you know, and I became president of Green Machine, which is still Green Nations. They wear damn near
like a support club, kind of.
Huh?
Is it like a support club for?
Nah, no. Silent Ones is their support club. Green Machine was their brother club. Vagos wear Loki. Green Machine wear Loki. You know, the god of mischief. Vagos wear MF. Green Machine wore MF. So it's more their brother club. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. So my nationality is Latino and white, but we know what car I go to, heaven forbid, when I used to go to prison. You know, I'm from rolling 60s, not anymore. But we know what car I go to, no matter how blue my eyes are, no matter how light skinned, even though my name is Guillermo Eiland, I go to the black car.
If you weren't in the 60s, you would go to the other car, right?
I'd probably, if I wasn't, I would have been, you know, because I'd be considered Cuban or Puerto Rican or, you know what I mean? I'm Ecuadorian, but yeah, if I was from that black car. I remember getting the car. You know, you're actually the first person I'm telling this story to. I was going to wait to put it in the book, but I don't want to. I was put out of the Vagos. I was called by the king. So me, Debo, and another cat, we had to be there at like 9 that night. And man, I cried like a baby, Staxx. Because I felt like I was at my destination with the Vagos. Yeah. And they're inside. I can hear them, but I can't know I don't know what they're saying. And I get called in the room, and Bigfoot, I standing right there in the middle of the room. I got my prospect cut on, my chaleco. And Bigfoot goes, "Man, I don't want to just throw nobody away." And this is what he says, Staxx. He says, "But I just can't sell you. Can't sell you." Someone complained about me. It was like, "Oh, we let in now because, you know, the music I do. So it's okay when a white boy or Mexican raps like, but the fact that my following is so African-American, you know, I hate that word, black, urban. This certain individual, which I won't even give him the credit for saying his name, him and Bigfoot were like this." And I start getting the question. No, I get the question at night. If something happens, what car are you going to ride with? I said, "Brother, hey, that's all you, I'm not thinking about ever going back. Hold on. Knock on wood."
Yeah.
But we know what car I'm going to. There's no Vago car. There's no Hell's Angel car. There's no Mongo car. One thing that I hate is when they talk about why they don't let blacks in other clubs. And they'll say, "Oh, because of prison politics." When you go to jail, if your name is Sam Elliott, you're going to that bench over there. Whether if there's Nazi lowriders over there, whether if there's Aryan, whether there's non-associate, you're going to that part of the yard over there. Your name is Hector Gonzalez. You're going to that over there. Your name is Jamal Wilkes. You're going over there. So there is no, now you may be in there as a Hell's Angel, but you're still going over there with the Woods.
Yeah.
So you don't want in your club because you just don't want in your club. That's it. It worked. I just got back from Thailand. I just got back from Australia. There's blacks in the Mongols over there. So they're figuring it out. But it was, we know you're Latin. And mind you, the whole time, Rue Ritchie's sitting down right behind me. And I was told, I can't sell you. And brother, I broke out into tears like a 10-year-old. Like I just got kicked off the team.
Yeah.
And here's the funny thing about how this worked. So I was too black to be a Vago, but I wasn't black at all, and I was able to become the president of Green Machine.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So I'm going to the same functions. And nothing, no spite. I think it was just Bigfoot because the support that I got, Spike from the Vagos, man, the Tombstone, before Tombstone was put out, man, I got so much support. Like, man, y'all lost a good one. I remember Kane, the national for Green Machine. I remember he told Bigfoot, y'all lost a good dude, but we happy to have him. And I grew Green Machine along with a brother by the name of Red, that's now a Vago. Because he was Bullhead and I was all of the rest of Arizona, from Phoenix all the way to Tucson to Tombstone. So I had about.
So you stayed in the Green Machine after this little incident where they.
So because it was like, even though it was really a spit in the face, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't really want to try to compare it to nothing because it might sound like an insult to what I'm going to compare it to, but it's like, we're going to let you go. And I go to the front. You're like, I'm out. I'm done. Got to take my chaleco off. I got to give it back. And no, I didn't have to give it back that night. I gave it back a couple of days later. But I'm in the front yard and I'm crying. Then Richie comes out. He goes, man, I did not want this. He goes, I tried to fight for you. He goes, it don't make no sense. And he said, you know, we have a brother club called Green Machine. No, someone said, why don't you go to Silent Ones? He's like, how's he look going from Kings Among Kings, Chosen Few, to a support club? They're like, no, we have a brother club. Their patch is amazing. It's Loki on old Springer with his middle finger up. It's the best patch I've ever seen in my life. And I might have joined just because the patch was so dope. I'm obviously not, but he was like, and I'd seen Green Machine. And he says, why don't we'll talk to them. And the next day I get a call from the National. He goes, yeah, I heard, and blah, blah, blah. And I was in the club fully patched as a member about 2 weeks later. And then they made me president about a month later. And I was there for about a year. Then Green Machine, been around since the 80s, some inner friction. And at that time I was just like, I'm done.
It's a lot dealing with all these personalities, right?
It's to go from, and I'm multiracial, so I know how to multiply be around. But it just became, it was some inner workings. And I don't know if they shut Green Machine down, but I know they shut a lot of chapters down. And Arizona was on the chopping board. It was a lot of, Vagos runs, Mooch did an interview, and Vagos runs a pretty tight ship. It just, I don't want to get too much into it, but it was becoming a lot of problems. So they were talking about taking the state rockers, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to trip on this. So I left. I was done for about 2 years. And let's touch on club hopping real quick. We're good on time?
Yeah.
I've saw trolls that don't even live in this life call me a club hopper. If an NFL player goes to 5 different teams, is he a football hopper? You go where you're still wanted. You go because you still have it. It's like a fighter. Before we're done, I'm going to walk you out so people know I'm a professional fighter. This is what I do. So my office is here, but it's inside of a gym. I get the best of both worlds. And, it's like a fighter. It's like Mike Tyson, fighting Jake Paul. We know all that's BS. That's for a paycheck. but you still don't want to be hit by Mike or Jake. I knew my journey I hadn't hit my destination, even though I thought I did. To the ones that say club hopper, it takes you a minute to find your footing. Now I'm fully retired. Done. I'm done. Retired from the Thunderguards. Shout out to the beautiful, beautiful Thunderguards. They retired me as a nomad. And, I did a lot.
They're an iconic club. The Thunderguards.
Huge. And they were not here in Arizona. Were not. There was a few cats here, but they were wearing California rockers. I'm allowed to say this. I stood Arizona up, along with some amazing guys. But I got the call. Me and Ice-T are best friends. He lives in Jersey. Cat who he knows. Like, he saw an interview with me and Ice, and he was like, man, my national wants to talk to him, wants to meet him. I get on the phone with him. He's like, man, I'm just a fan of yours. I'd love to meet you. I love watching your videos and how inspiring you are about this outlaw life. And they kind of, I didn't know they was going to ask me to stand the nation up. I thought they was going to ask, come in. And there was no chapter here. You're talking about a combustible pot of that. Thunderguards were told they were never going to stand up in Arizona. Never. There was other clubs that were like, yo, they better not stand up here. And more like-minded people from Sin City, Outkast, Wheels of Soul, who knew me, were like, oh, okay. And it's been okay. It's been little ups and downs, but there's another cat by the name of Red that runs a charter out here. I brought him in, and he's running a successful charter. The charter that I had, when I was done, that's loyalty, Staxx. When cats go, oh, I'm your brother, I'm your brother. When I said I was done, I swear to you, they all said they were done.
So they basically followed you through the whole
every single one of them. Every single one of them. The day I said I was moved, we were in my clubhouse, not ours. It was mine. I never asked them to pay dues on it, nothing. And I broke some rules. Thunderguards don't allow whites, which that's, but I broke the rules. I brought some white boys in. And
is it true that the Thunderguards is part of the Pagans? Like, not part of Pagans, but they're, I don't know how to explain it. Like
a brother club.
Brother club.
A brother club. If you watch the interview with Low Key on Demon's Row, Low Key speaks on it the same way someone from Chosen Few would speak on it. Chosen Few lives by the motto, they're cool with who's cool with them. So you may be somewhere and get some flack from this club that goes, oh, you hang out with this club. No, I'm cool with who's cool with me. The Pagans actually blessed us with our diamond many, 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 many years ago, but we were never a support club. There's actually a patch that I have that says Thunderguards, then the 1% diamond in the middle, and then Pagans patch, and then it says brothers. So never was a support club, but not everybody, just kind of, the Thunderguards Thunderguards were been around since 1965.
Yeah, there used to be an African American pagan. There used to be.
Yeah.
And then, because I've heard that the Thunderguard brings the thunder and the pagans bring the lightning.
Well, there's some dark pagans now, but we'll call them Dominican. We'll call them Puerto Rican. But you had Knuckles, who went over to the pagans. Knuckles used to be a Hell's Angels. Can't get too deep into that, but he was a Thug Rider. Then he went to Hell's Angels. Then he went to he was a Thug Rider. Then Thunderguard. No, Thug Rider, Hell's Angels, Thunderguards, then Pagans. But he's Puerto Rican. I always say, man, if you're still in the top tier, you're not a club hopper. You're just someone that brings something to the club. So to answer the club hopper thing, you're a club hopper, you go down. You don't stay at that. But, for me, I lost my eyesight. As we're talking, anybody keeps seeing me rub, this eye was just replaced. Medicine is amazing. my retina, my cornea, and the inner bulb and the membrane was changed. So someone passed away. May they rest in peace for me to have this left eye. I get this right eye this Thursday. So that's another reason why I came back in Thailand, because they wouldn't accept my insurance in Thailand. And I didn't want to pay $20,000 for surgery. You know, it was time. I can't, you know, as a national, I mean, as a nomad, sorry for when I get bent out of shape, because some people will say, oh, national nomad. I'm a nomad. You know, I had a long talk with Chuck, and I'm like, right, I've probably been doing this way too long. I've been doing this since 2010. And there's people that are still doing it, but I'm doing it with no eyesight. Even though I could see you, Staxx, I can only see out this left. It's going to take a while for my body to adjust this. It's a transplant.
But that's wild. You could see out of an eye from a person that passed away.
If you look at any pictures I sent you, Staxx, my eyes were very bright blue. If you look closely, they're gray now.
Yeah, that's wild.
They're gray because
does it
remember,
feel
I've already,
different when you look at
it? Does. It does. This one doesn't feel like it fits because my body's trying to get used to the, you know, it's somebody else's eye.
Yeah, like the size of it probably. And...
Yeah. Yep. So, like right now as we're talking, it feels like something's in my eye, but that's just my body. You have to wait. You know, your tear duct has to get used to the new eye. The reason why they turn gray. So this is the third transplant. I've gotten 2 transplants and they didn't work. Well, if you're getting somebody else's eye, you're getting somebody else's retina, somebody else's cornea, you're getting whatever color you can. They try to, you know, these just happen to be gray. But I can see. I'm back riding. I'm not crossing any state lines just yet because the whether it's nighttime and it's the headlights, it's blinding. So I got to wear special glasses. I'm supposed to be wearing a patch on this eye because you don't want, even though I cannot see out of my right eye, you know, they want you to wear a patch. I just get tired of wearing it. But, you know, it was time to retire. And there's a few people that I want to say that looked out for me. Chuck, the vice national, Dear John, the national, Quick, X, and Monk. Those cats looked out for me tremendously. You know, they gave me such huge acknowledgement for what I did for standing a state up. Because Staxx, when I tell you it was issues, it was, they will never stand up in Arizona. And I made it a point to go, well, these ain't high heels, baby, and we don't run, so we here.
Oh.
These cats were patient with me because I got a terrible temper. I want to fight everybody. They say, oh, let's fight and have a beer. Nah, once I fight you, I hope your mama gets anal cancer. I don't give 2 shit. I don't care if we wear the same patch. If I got to put my hands on you, that means I have to hate you, you know, because you think we're going to fight. I'm a professional fighter. I'm going to hit you a way you ain't never been hit before. You know, any trolls that, I'm not trying to sound like a tough guy, but Staxx, I'm at the same gym 5 days a week. You know, when you post something online, it says where you're at.
Yeah.
It clearly says that I'm here. I have never had a troll or a hater. I used to issue out plane tickets. I used to issue out bounties, like come whoop my ass, because it just got so disgusting. And somebody's going, oh, look, he's trying to sound tough. No, I'm sounding like it gets tiring.